This week on High Mileage Reviews, it's time for something big, something beige, something to waste your gas. No more driving grandma to the bingo hall. This bad mother is ready to make a lot of noise and go nowhere fast. It's got a shuffleboard tournament to get to, and it ain't stopping for no one. 2001 Mercury Grand Marquis. Respect your elders, or else. £4,000, body on frame, front engine, V8, rear-wheel drive, and seating for 6. You'd think I was describing a passenger car from the 50s. Think again, because I've just described the Ford Panther Platform. The antiquated yet effective underpinnings of the Crown Victoria, Grand Marquis, and Town Car, which saw production all the way until 2011 if you could believe it. Panther, albeit a rather intimidating name at its core, is somewhat of a paradox. It both is and isn't an accurate analogy for the line of vehicles which it represents. On one end, just as seeing a jungle cat's eyes glow in the dark depths of the forest floor stokes fear into the hearts of its prey. For years, seeing these amber headlights trailing you in the rearview mirror would give anyone temporary heart palpitations. On the other end, these docile, elephant-like, unoffensive cruisers are admired amongst the geriatric community for their ability to tote friends to and from church as smoothly as possible. Is Gertrude dead in the backseat? Or is she just sleeping because she's so comfortable? Either way, you're going to church. Today, though, the Grand Marquis is dead, just as many of their previous owners are. On the bright side, after a strong run of 33 years, Panther Platform vehicles and replacement parts are a dime a dozen. Easy to work on, reliable, and chock full of modding potential, these cars are finally beginning to make a name for themselves amongst buyers in all age groups. Originally purchased new by my grandfather in 2001, the Arizona beige paint on this car was nearly flawless. I say nearly flawless because it turns out, in fact, there was a flaw. The first piece of service history for this car shows that the front driver's side door was repainted almost immediately after purchase. Reason being, there was a hair encased in the clear coat. But hey, if I spent $29,000 on a brand new car, I'd want the paint to be perfect too. Over the next decade, with my grandpa primarily captaining the ship, this Grand Marquis encountered many trials which slowly degraded overall exterior appearance. Whether it was hitting concrete parking blocks at Walmart, running over a stop sign, or unknowingly dragging plastic garbage cans a few blocks down the street, the bumpers held up surprisingly well, but not without a few battle scars. I've since repainted unsightly sections of the front and rear bumpers myself, with passable results. Once the car was given to me in 2011, it would spend the next 8 years outdoors, since I had no garage to put it in. After withstanding cycles of unforgiving Chicago weather, nature began to do what it does best, and destroy everything you love. A hailstorm put some much-needed dents into my roof and hood, which has now caused my clear coat to peel in spots. Additionally, the salty winters are great for when I'm really in the mood to fix some rust patches, and boy do I love fixing rust, especially in door jambs and fenders. And just when I thought I was having too much fun, getting your car keyed never fails to add that extra bit of flair to any party. If the exterior wasn't beige enough for you, then the interior should most definitely satisfy your beige appetite. You'd be hard-pressed to find this much beige smack in the middle of the Sahara. At least the beige desert is contrasted by a blue sky. The only contrast here goes from light beige to slightly less light beige. Anyway, now that the word beige has lost all meaning, I could talk about something interesting, like the shifter sticking out of the floor. As you may have already surmised, a 5-speed manual was never an option in any Panther Platform offering. This was the product of a masochistic dream to turn a perfectly comfortable luxury sedan into the equivalent of riding a dinosaur. A bit lumpy, raw, and physical, but you sure feel cool doing it. The transmission I swapped into this Grand Marquis is the TR3650 from a 2004 Mustang GT. Clutch pedal assembly is of the same, but not without a bit of cutting and welding to fit it into the pedal box. And contrary to popular opinion, I was even able to keep a functioning power-adjustable gas pedal. Not that I ever use it anyway. I just wanted to keep the function and appearance as stock as possible. Cruise control with brake pedal deactivation still works as well. Biggest downsides? Well, I lost the use of my cup holders and one of my power outlets. And since I am admittedly relatively short at a towering 5'6", I have to adjust the seat annoyingly close to the steering wheel so that my tiny baby legs can push the clutch all the way in. And I mean all the way. The heavy, non-hydraulic cable-operated clutch catches about an inch or two off of the floor. The benefit from this, at least, is I can kick your ass sky high with my disproportionately strong left leg. Not that I would. I love you all too much. Years is a lot of time for things to go wrong on a car. Even in this instance, with a car that's renowned for its reliability, coupled with low mileage, you'd think it's lived a posh life of predictable, routine maintenance. Wrong! There's a laundry list of repairs that this car has needed over the years, many of which were actually due to its low mileage and old age. You see, in 2011, I got this car with 26,000 miles on it. Impressive. Yet scary. Especially since between 2009 and 2011, it spent a majority of its days tucked away in a garage, undriven and unloved, for months at a time. This, my friends, is a recipe for disaster, as I will now demonstrate with the aforementioned laundry list. It all started with a set of tie rods, corroded and seized. Upper ball joints were next. They were squeaky and loose, like a cheerleader at homecoming. Today, nearly every component of the front suspension has been replaced, some more than once. Skipping ahead, one of the more notable repairs was the intake manifold. Ford had the wise idea of molding it entirely out of plastic, which conveniently cracks from the hot-cold cycle of coolant running through it. As much as I loved having coolant leak into my cylinders, I quickly replaced it with an updated version. This is a very common issue with the earlier 4.6 liter. Sad as it is to admit, the repair total over 8 years exceeds the value of the car. But that's just the tip of this beige iceberg. Aftermarket modification is another rabbit hole into which large sums of cash seem to magically disappear. So, in the spirit of self-torture, let's dive right in. Starting off, 2-inch lowering springs ballpark around $400. Dual exhaust conversion, let's say that was $350. A gear swap from 273 to 373 ratios, give or take $800. You need a tune with that though, so add another $450. And finally, the moment of truth, the manual swap. Here's a full breakdown of that. Just nearly tickled $2,000. And that's on the cheaper end, believe it or not. So let's see. Add it all up. Yes, carry the 1. And let's call it around another $4,000 or so. Oh boy. I think I need to go lie down for a minute. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next mile.